Hey, so I've got this bone-chilling story to share with you. It all went down in our creepy little town where the fog was like something out of a horror flick, creeping through the streets and giving the whole place a seriously spooky vibe. And right on the edge of town, there it was, the manor. This ancient, run-down place was full of dark secrets and a seriously cursed history. So, like in our town, there's this super famous haunted house that everyone knows about, but no one really believes in. It's just this creepy old place on the edge of town, and for fun, a lot of us love to trespass and explore the manor, even though there are all these spooky stories about it. It's like a dare, you know? And when they come back, they're all like, dude, we totally saw ghosts and all this crazy stuff was happening to us. And everyone's just like, yeah, right, sure you did. But then they're like, oh no, seriously, it was insane. So even though no one really believes their stories, there's still a bit of curiosity and interest in checking out, you know? I've always been into creepy stuff, and the mystery of the manor had me totally hooked. I'd heard all these stories about restless spirits, a dad gone mad, and a seriously messed up family history, and I just couldn't resist. So, one night feeling brave and kind of drawn to the place, I convinced a bunch of friends to join me on a little adventure into the heart of the manor, just for kicks. As we got closer to the looming old house, the fog seemed to come alive, wrapping around us and giving us major chills. The air got all thick and weird, and the sound of our footsteps echoed through the stillness, like the house itself was alive. When we pushed open the creaky old door and stepped inside, it was like stepping into a whole other world. The place was so dark, and our flashlights barely made a dent in the shadows. It was seriously creepy, and we all felt this weird, cold vibe in the air. As we were checking out Manor, it totally felt like we were in a horror movie, you know? We were trying to freak each other out by jumping from behind corners and making spooky noises, but, none of us really bought into the whole ghost thing. It was just a good time, and the creepy vibe of the old house made it even more exciting. We were wandering through the dusty old rooms, checking out the old furniture, and trying to imagine what it was like for the people who used to live there. We even found an old piano and took turns playing creepy music, trying to outdo each other with our best horror movie soundtracks. As the night went on, we started to feel a little weird. The shadows seemed to get darker and the air got colder. We tried to brush it off and keep having fun, but there was something about Manor that just wouldn't let us chill, But I wasn't about to let that stop us. I led the way further into the heart of the manor, and as we wandered through these dimly lit hallways, the air got even heavier, like something out of a horror movie. The portraits on the walls looked like they were watching us, and it gave me major goosebumps. Then we heard this distant moan, and it felt like the whole place was mourning something. In one dimly lit room, we found all this old stuff covered in dust, and there was this eerie old melody playing from a gramophone. Shadows danced on the walls, and it felt like they were mocking us. As we kept going, we stumbled upon this old nursery that just felt so sad. There were these forgotten toys scattered around, frozen in time like something out of a ghost story. The air got even heavier as we went deeper into the house, and we started hearing these unearthly whispers that felt like they were coming from inside our heads. It was seriously messed up, and I felt like something was watching us. In this room that was just dripping with shadows, it felt like the walls were alive with memories. And then, this figure appeared, the ghostly image of woman, her eyes hollow and accusing. The temperature dropped even more, and we could see our breath in the freezing air. Her anguished cries echoed through the halls, and the shadows twisted into these freaky shapes, dancing to this mournful sound from the past. We tried to get out, but the corridors seemed to twist and trap us, like we were stuck in a nightmare. I stumbled into this room that was glowing with this otherworldly light, and in the middle of it, there was this mirror showing these twisted images of us. It felt like it was promising us this eternity with the tormented souls in the manor. I freaked out and ran, screaming my head off as I tore through the house. The walls seemed to close in on me, but I refused to give up. I pushed forward, my heart pounding like crazy. Finally, I burst out of the front door, gasping for air. The fog was thick, but I could see my car in the distance. I ran for it, my hands shaking as I fumbled with the keys. When I finally got inside and locked the door, I looked around and saw my friends were there, safe and sound. We all just looked at each other, feeling this huge wave of relief. We'd made it out of the manor. As we drove away, the fog lifted, and the town seemed totally oblivious to the crazy stuff we'd just been through. The manor was still there, waiting for the next bunch of curious souls to get caught in its grip, a guardian of a past that just wouldn't rest in peace. But we knew better. We'd never forget the terror we'd felt in that place, and we'd never go back to the manor again. So there you have it, guys, the wild tale of the manor. Who knows what other dark secrets are hiding in there, waiting to trap the next bunch of brave souls who dare to step inside.